Hey everybody, what's going on? Slim Anthem here, and I'm going to talk to you guys in this video about a popular hot topic issue that's kind of been discussed throughout the whole country just recently. Um, I'm sure you all have heard about the Bird scooters and the Lime S scooters. Those have become pretty popular just recently. I believe they all kind of started out in Los Angeles and then just kind of spread out from there and have gone to different locations and in the country, cities, college campuses, stuff like that. Um, but the reason why it's a popular topic to discuss right now is because there's a lot of mixed opinions about these scooters. A lot of people, mainly people that use these scooters, tend to enjoy riding them because they use it as like a means of transportation and all that. But there's a lot of people who just hate them just because of the fact that they view the scooters as dangerous, and um, the kind of, and like the ways people are using these scooters are not for practical purposes. So there's kind of valid points that both sides make, but um, I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about like what's been happening in my life in regards to these scooters and like how it's affected me. Um, well, the first time I'd probably say I first came across one of these Bird scooters was last July. I went out to eat in Kansas City. We went downtown. Me and my brother and one of his friends went downtown to go eat lunch, um, and we just noticed one of these scooters. Didn't look like a normal Razor scooter at all. It was a Bird. It was just kind of parked on the sidewalk, and I just kind of walked by it and thought, well, this is kind of weird. Someone just left their scooter here, and then we looked at it and said Bird, and we were just kind of looking at it closely, and it had like wires and stuff hooked up to it, and we've come to realize that that it's an actual like service, kind of like someone hailing a Uber to or a taxi or something. A Bird scooter was actually something you could pay for to do, and it kind of took us some research to figure that out. But apparently, these Bird scooters are equipped with like a GPS. So, like, if a Bird scooter were to start being relocated, like someone were to pick it up and start moving it while it was not in service, then the scooter would start beeping, indicating like that someone is tampering with the device and is trying to move it. Now, I don't know if it alerts authorities if these scooters have been moved. I don't know what kind of outcomes, what kind of consequences follow from messing with these scooters. But one thing I did realize though is that in order to power it, to enable its features to use it, you had to download a Bird app on your phone, which can find any bird that's near your location that's not in use. And then what you can do is you can pay an initial $10 startup fee plus, I can't remember the rate per hour, or no, it wasn't rate per hour, it was rate per minute. You're supposed to charge, it charges you a certain amount per minute just to use the Bird scooter. And what you would do is you would start um, using your phone to activate it. And once the scooter is activated, I think you just give it like kind of a kickstart while you're on it, and then it would just kind of work like a normal regular scooter, like the ones that we used to have as kids, where we just charge it in the garage and then just go down the street with. They also come with a little bell as well, um, and headlights at night so you can see them. Although they're not very helpful because sometimes people get hit by them, but sometimes people get hit that are on Bird scooters, which I will get to in a second. But that was that. That was the only time I saw it until I came to Stillwater for school this semester, and I just started noticing Bird scooters everywhere. And it took me a second to realize that those were the scooters that I saw over the summer, and I was thinking, what the hell's going on? Like, I thought this was just a thing that started in Kansas City, but no, it's like an actual like nationwide nationwide movement that's been going around where people can pay for the services of using the Bird scooter to get from point A to point B, or if you just want to just mess around and drive and just ride them around with your buddies. But it would have been fine. The bird scooters would have been fine as they were created, except there were some issues that were kind of red flagging me. I was still having some troubles understanding the whole concept, such as like, what is to prevent someone from tampering with a scooter, like putting like an explosive device or a tracking chip on it, doing some sort of surveillance, or just messing with the scooter in general. Like, there's always these wires that are hanging out off the end of the scooter. Like, what's to stop someone from coming up to it and just snipping the wire? Also, you can be paid by the company if you take these scooters, take them back to your place, and charge them and bring them back out. Which I thought was another weird thing too, because like, how are these companies knowing what's happening to these scooters? Are they like constantly looking at these GPS signals, like, okay, there's a scooter there, there's a scooter there, this person's not messing with the tires or something like that? To me, it just kind of seems like a sketchy business, and that it just kind of all just started showing up out of nowhere, it seemed like. Also, on a college campus, we're college students. We don't think rationally. We don't do rational things. We get involved in some pretty ridiculous things on Saturday nights. We get wild during football games, stuff like that. People take advantage of these bird scooters to do things for their own situations that they want to fulfill. I guess I should put it that way. I mean, the bird scooter was originally created just to get people from point A to point B, and maybe just to ride around for fun and stuff like that. But the thing that's kind of troubling about these scooters, though, is that people will pay to use them, and then they just go crazy. Like, they ride around campus doing like wheelies in the parking lot. They'll weave in and out traffic. They'll go on sidewalk into the street, back on the sidewalk and into the street. Since they've started adding these bird scooters here on campus, there have been several reports of people getting injured or falling off the bird scooters. I've seen one accident happen already. I've also heard multiple accounts from different friends that I have. So to me, it kind of seems like a no good thing, like, because people are just kind of abusing it. Which kind of begged the question to me, like, when would this stop? And over time, I found it to be even more troubling, because at night, people would ride these scooters around as well. And the scooters are built in with like this little headlight thing, which is kind of bright, but you're not going to see that if you're driving in a car. You won't see it until the people are like right there, because it's a small light, but it's kind of bright. And I'm sure there's people that are like backing out of parking spots and running into people and stuff like that. Just a bunch of accidents waiting to happen, one after another. But like, people are even using these scooters that don't even need to, which starts to get on my nerves, though, because to me it's starting to become a symbol of laziness in my generation. Because instead of walking 10 minutes to get to class, people are taking these scooters. I mean, yes, it does make the commute easier. It does save you time, yada, yada, yada. And people are spending their own money, so it's not like they're doing it for free. But still, it's kind of, in a way, promoting the fact that we've just become a society where we're too dependent on technology, and we're becoming lazy people that just let the technology do stuff for us. Kind of like the situation in WALL-E, the movie. So that's troubling for me, and I kind of had it as it was with just the bird scooters being around. But then about a few weeks ago, they started incorporating another another company's scooter here on campus, and y'all are probably uh, familiar with this company as well. They're called Lime S. Now I don't know why they call them Lime S. That doesn't really make sense. I mean, Bird didn't make much sense either. I mean, birds aren't a land vehicle. They're animals that fly in the sky, and a Lime S is a food. um, but they do have like a little picture of a lime on the thing, so I guess that kind of helps validate their point. But still, it kind of looks like another knockoff version of the Bird scooters as it is. The only difference really is just the color scheme, and they also have those little underlights that you see some cars have. So that way you can see them much easier at night. That's kind of like this green glow that's emitted underneath the base of the scooter. But people are abusing this technology as if it's so much of a hassle just to walk. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little dramatic about the whole situation. I mean, yeah, it's a good way to commute to place, but it's also dangerous. I mean, you gotta look out for those scooters. I mean, they're silent too, so like you can't really tell if someone's coming up behind you. And if you're walking to class and you're trying to get around someone, some guy might be riding on a Bird scooter right behind you, and he might run into you, and then you get hurt. He falls off the scooter. There's a lawsuit involved. Even if someone ends up in traffic and gets hit by a car, they're just. It's a good idea that just kind of doesn't take into account that not everybody does things the way it's supposed to. Like, nobody thinks things through whenever they get behind the wheel of a car or use these scooters. I mean, of course there's going to be people that are careful and consider what they're getting themselves into when they get in a car, but some people end up getting in car crashes just because of their own mistakes. So although these Bird scooters and these Lime S's are an efficient way to get around from point A to point B, there's still safety regulations that need to be met if someone's gonna take these scooters out for a drive. I mean, I've seen people pair up so there's like two people riding on a scooter at once. I mean, people just don't make smart decisions when they drive these things, when they ride them around. I even saw people riding them around in the rain too. I mean, that's probably the most dangerous time to use that too, because it's not as stable as a car where it's got four wheels to rely on. It's like a two-wheel, very narrow transportation vehicle. And if you're making a turn, you could easily slip because there's no way those tires can grip the ground that well. Someone can slip while making a turn, and then injury, accidents, stuff like that happens. Now, fast forwarding to today, lately I was actually thinking about, like, what if someone were to go around with like a fake petition to like get rid of Bird scooters? Well, actually, that's not required, because now the university has ordered the removal of these Bird and Lime S scooters from campus. So there's no motorized scooters that are allowed to be driven around campus anymore, which is a relief for me, because I feel like I can walk to class and not have to worry about someone hitting me with one of these scooters. I haven't been hit yet, but I feel like I was due for a chance. I feel like I was due for a potential accident by one of these scooters, one of these people driving them. But people have until 5 o'clock today that work for these companies. People that work for Bird and Lime S, they have till 5 o'clock today to remove these scooters from campus. Otherwise, they will be impounded, and they will have to come pick them up at their own time from the impound lot to get these scooters. But so that means they're still legal to drive around here on campus until 5 o'clock. But after 5 o'clock, then it's fair game. You can start calling up parking and transit and be like, hey, there's a report of a Lime S or a Bird scooter going westbound on campus or something like that. Like, someone come out here and confiscate this vehicle immediately, which would be great. I mean, that doesn't mean that all scooters are going to be gone here in Stillwater. It just means on campus. So I don't know, maybe there's like a gray line that they can't cross, somewhere between the boundaries of on and off campus, but they're still legal in Stillwater, just not here at OSU. So after 5 o'clock, they're illegal, and no one can drive these things around. Until then, people have time to abuse them the way they want. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing people walk around again and hearing people complain like, they took my Bird scooter away, like, my life is ruined. It's like, get over yourself. But it's funny because, like, I was watching this, Jimmy Kimmel did this whole story about the Lime S and Bird scooters, and I guess in like Los Angeles, there's been some people that have been like taking matters into their own hand because they won't get rid of the Bird and Lime S scooters. So there's been people that have been like setting fire to them, throwing them off bridges, running them over. Jeez, that's more extreme than what I would want to do to those scooters, but I don't know. It feels somewhat satisfying to see something like that get destroyed. I don't know if those scooters have any benefit towards the environment or anything, but honestly, it's just one of those things that if someone were to start a riot and say, hey, we're burning up a bunch of Bird and Lime S scooters, I wouldn't participate, but I'd be like, go for it, man. I just had enough of those things. But that's just me. But anyway, go ahead and feel free to weigh your thoughts about the whole Bird and Lime S revolution debate going on here in the comment section below for this video. I don't know if you guys are sick and tired of seeing these scooters around wherever you live, or if you actually love enjoying them. Anyway, I'm open for discussion if you guys want to talk about anything in particular about these scooters and like what could be done to make them much safer, explain why they should be taken away or why they should be kept. I'm just kind of interested in hearing you guys' thoughts and what you have to say. So yeah, feel free to drop your comments below in the comment section, like the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But I appreciate the support, and thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all later in the next video. See you.